This is what it is. Young rich nigga. What this is what it is.
Today we're gonna be doing a reaction about I was chased in the woods by a cult. I don't know what that means, but let's see if we can find out in the video. Alright.
This is the story of when I was chased by a cult in the woods. I was visiting my mom, who had just moved to the countryside. At the time, I was living in the city, so I was used to constant stimulus. Compared to that, this was super boring. Fortunately, my good friend Olivia actually lived in the area too. We grew up together, but eventually her parents moved and we went to different schools. One summer night, I can't fall asleep for the life of me. The Wi-Fi is garbage, so Netflix just simply isn't an option. I decide to shoot Olivia a text. Now I know what this looks like, but I swear, we're just friends. Olivia is one of those friends that I could call up at any moment and we'd pick up right where we left off. Never an awkward moment. You know the type. Anyways, fast forward. Olivia came over and I found my old BMX bike in the garage. She hopped on the pegs in the back and we went for a ride. As we made our way down the main road, she told me about some guy, James, who was into her but she wasn't sure about. To be honest, I was only half paying attention because I was busy watching the road. You know, making sure we didn't get hit by a car. Speaking of cars, we must have gone for at least a couple kilometers without seeing one. At some point, I noticed something and pull over onto the side of the road. A narrow path split right down the middle of a lake, the only bit of land between two bodies of water. We decide to seize this opportunity and explore it before it rains and the path floods. So we set out onto the hidden path. It feels like we're riding in an endless void of space because the water is nearly pitch black on both sides, surrounded by darkness, with the moon lighting only the path in front of me. We ride in silence, simply trying to appreciate the hauntingly beautiful view. I lose track of time, but eventually we reach the end of the lake. We arrive at an area densely covered with trees. I assume it's a wilderness preservation of some sort. As I look into the blackness of the forest, I notice a very subtle orb of light moving around. I think I'm tripping out, but I check with Olivia and she sees it too. We whisper to each other about what it could possibly be since its movement is very irregular. I pull out my phone to shine a flashlight.
Wait, what if you scare it away?
She signals for me to follow her. We slowly and quietly get closer to the light, trying to make out what it is. I trip on a branch and it cuts my ankle. Olivia shoots me a look, then back at the orb. It stops moving. Suddenly, the orb splits into several lights. The quiet is invaded by various revving sounds, accompanied by angry men shouting. Since our senses had adapted to the dark and silence, the abrupt audio-visual stimulus is overwhelming. The lights and revving quickly approach us, and we immediately go into fight or flight. We sprint away from the path into the darkness of the forest. We're running as fast as we can, but it's no use. They're gaining on us quickly, and right when it seems like we're caught...
Ah!
Olivia?
In here, quick!
Olivia had slipped into a hole, a natural dugout hidden by plants and trees. Without thinking twice, I jump in. Under the guise of darkness, this should be enough to keep us hidden from whatever is chasing us.
What if they're park rangers?
Shh! A fleet of ATVs pull up. 5 men in white cloaks dismount their vehicles and arrive at where we were just standing. One of them reassures the others that he definitely saw someone. They proceed to search the premises, scouring each path that led in and out of the area, while aggressively shouting things like, "We know you're still here," and "We just want to give you your bike back." Olivia whispers,
Maybe they are park rangers.
Something about the tone of their voices told me otherwise. Olivia was getting sick of hiding in a hole, but I insisted that we stay put. Unfortunately, She's never been one to listen to me, so she starts making her way out of the hole until we hear the men start arguing. We can't make out exactly what they're saying, so we try listening more closely. Suddenly, a gunshot, a body drops. The men go quiet. Then one of them screams.
Find them! Now!
Well, they're definitely not park rangers. If we continue to stay put, they'll inevitably find us. I think about calling for help, but I'm too afraid that the screen light might give away our location. The sounds and lights get distant once again, and I know we have a small window of opportunity to make a run for it. I look at Olivia. She's terrified, as am I. She nods at me. I mouth on 3. 3, 2, 1. We run as fast as we humanly can, adrenaline pumping through my veins. All I see are leaves and branches, leaves and branches. I don't look back, not even once. The woods are getting less and less dense. I hear the revving behind us and I assume they're on our trail. We won't have another opportunity to hide. It's now or never. Then, we emerge from the forest at last. I reach for my phone to call for help. There's no service. Olivia tries her phone, also no service. Out of nowhere, she receives a call from James. She hesitates. I shoot her a look, urgently signaling for her to pick up. Pause. So apparently, Olivia agreed to go on a date with James, but ghosted him this very day. He was upset and decided to call her and tell her off. You can imagine that he was quite surprised when a very distressed Olivia picked up and pleaded for him to come get us. Luckily, he hadn't given up on her and reached us before the, park rangers did. When Olivia and I later filed a report, nobody believed us since there was no trace of the men whatsoever. No body, nothing. Instead, we were just questioned for why we were trespassing after hours in the first place. To this day, I still have no idea who those men were or what they were up to. All I know is that they really didn't want us finding out about it.
Yep.